Yo, welcome to another episode of the DJ podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys are new right now listening to my podcast, on YouTube, everybody, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. This is a podcast where I talk about celebrity news, gossip, commentary, and I just talk about daily life stuff, you know what I'm saying, things that we go through, and we just like to chat it up and have a good time. I like to chat up and have a good time with my people, and if you're a person who like to have a good time and listen to my voice, if you enjoy my voice, do me a favor and share this video as well. Everybody that's in the podcast world is listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and iHeart and everywhere else that you're listening on the audio platforms. Do me a favor, make sure you guys leave a rating if you can. I know that sometimes on the audio things you can't leave comments, but you can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and stuff like that. Share it with your people and interact with me, you know what I'm saying. I'm on social media at the DJ podcast or at DJ You guys could just hit me up, let me know if you're listening to it, tell me your certain opinions and comments about a lot of the topics that we're going to discuss on my show, man. And it takes a lot of time to build this platform. I think that most people don't understand what it's like to sit here and literally do everything from the ground up. When I tell you this is a 100% independent podcast, it is that. I am the creator, the producer, the editor, the talent, the podcaster. I'm everything. So it takes a lot of time to collectively get my thoughts together, putting together this work. It takes time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very proud of what I have so far. And also, thank you guys for helping me hit over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know if I mentioned that last video, but we did do that. And now we're going to keep working until we hit 10,000. Now, man, let me tell you, it's been a minute. It's been about 10 days, and a lot has happened in the past 10 days. I've been trying, y'all. I've been trying to get y'all a new podcast like nearly every freaking week. Because, I really want to show y'all my dedication. I want, to get more interaction with the supporters and just trying to keep the continuity up, y'all. So, it takes a lot of time, man. And I want to talk also about YouTube. Now, building the podcast on YouTube has been very difficult for me because I just feel like there's a lot of bias when it comes to YouTube a little bit. When I put out productions and videos and stuff like that, I feel like they're so choosy on ones that they want to push and stuff. So it's like hard for me to sit and be like, okay, should I do this topic, that topic, this, and this? Because I never know which ones they're going to pick up and which ones they're just going to let sit there. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of starting to understand the trick to YouTube. I'm not going to tell you guys what the trick to YouTube is, but a lot of my videos are starting to hit a couple of thousand views and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's videos that is more live IG based and stuff like that, but I'm starting to figure out how I can grow my subscribers and stuff like that. So, I'm just trying to take it one step at a time because honestly, growing a social media platform, growing any platform, if you're doing it the organic way, it really does take time and it takes dedication. What I would say to anybody that's out there that's on YouTube trying to learn how to YouTube, just, take it one day at a time and work at your own pace. I know sometimes when you're doing this type of work, and for me just in general, it can be overwhelming. Like, a lot of people are pumping out stories and videos like left and right. And sometimes you feel like, man, that story done settled. I can't even talk about it, this, and this. But the one thing I like about my podcast, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it at my own pace. And if my supporters like me, they're going to sit there and listen no matter even if the story is 2 days old. Because it's like, if you get a story, right, and it happens, like, it's like, if it's not reported and within the same 24 hours, it's like old news and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like, this is a podcast, so it's okay to not be like TMZ and not be like, all the other bloggers who literally have to report the moment that some stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? I like to sit, I like to read stuff. I like to, I like to be self-centered and stuff like that. And, think my thoughts through before I discuss it here. So, this is the type of platform that you're going to be getting. It's not going to be a thing where I'm just throwing stuff out there just cause and hopefully get some hits. I'm putting on quality. I changed my setup. Took a little break, had to switch some things up, but I'm happy with the work that we're doing. This is an hour-long podcast here, so buckle up your seatbelts and let's go on this ride. Now, speaking of going on a ride, man, a lot has happened with Kanye West over the past few days, and he's taken a lot of people on a ride. Fans, supporters, Hollywood alike, as always. Man, this dude literally took his Grammy and pissed on it. He put his Grammy in the toilet and pissed on it and recorded it, and he posted it, I believe, to Twitter. And now his Twitter account, I think his Twitter account got suspended temporarily. And then on top of that, he came out and put up some tweets basically saying that Jay-Z owned his masters, and Jay-Z sold his masters to someone else, another record company, so Jay-Z could obtain his own masters. And he was basically saying how basically Jay-Z has robbed him and how he basically wants to be able to get his masters back. And you know, he's out here putting up tweets, basically putting up proposals on what new music contracts should look like and stuff like that, on how the artist should be able to benefit. And for me, I think that, you know, it's just at this point, Kanye West antics is just like, it's expected. You know what I mean? And I feel like he goes on a rant every so often, and it makes it so like I personally, I don't entertain this as quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like, before Kanye did something, I felt like, with me being a part of this group of commentators, I had to hurry up and jump on it. Like, Kanye did this, oh my god, this and this. But it's like, this shit is just so played out at this point. It's like, okay, it's expected for Kanye to do something stupid. It's expected for Kanye to have a fit. It's expected for him to do this, you know. And you know, oftentimes they want to blame it on his mental illness. You can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on, but that's just what the dude do. That's just how he is, period. And it's like, after a while, it just starts to get played out. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did have some good points. Something that I'm not gonna sit here and discredit the man on certain points that he made about artists owning their music and their masters. But the question is like, why is it that the people that don't make music, let's talk about a more serious subject in regards to what he was talking about. Why is it the people that don't make music own all of these artists' music? What in the world is going on in the music industry? There needs to be a serious revamping of every freaking thing. I mean, there's so many different stories since the start of Hollywood in the music industry about artists who have literally made pennies off of records that made other people's millions and millions and millions of dollars that they recorded and they don't own the rights to. And they basically, a lot of them, they die poor, or they go through a lot of financial hardship and strife before they actually have a semi-decent income for them to sustain themselves for years to come, man. And, you know, Kanye made a good point. You know, he discussed the fact that Jay-Z actually allegedly sold his master's recordings to someone else. So Jay-Z himself, because Jay-Z was an artist and is an artist, could own the masters to his own material, which is business, you know. If we're talking about on a business aspect, you can't really get emotional, but, you know, oftentimes when it comes to black folks and it comes to the music industry, when black people work together, we have sometimes I think it's like a manipulating mindset where we try to like, oh yeah, what's up sis, oh what's up bro, this and this, and we like try to make everything into a family situation when it's really not a family situation, it's a business situation. And I feel like with Kanye West, I feel like he basically was mixing business with pleasure with Jay-Z and felt like Jay-Z owed him anything, when at the end of the day, dude, you were just his artist. You were another commodity to his many business ventures. And Jay-Z did what most successful businessmen would do. If you have something that you could sell to another person or auction off or trade to get something better from it, that's what you're going to do. That's what capitalists do. That's how they make sure that they stay on top of the food chain. And like Kanye West, you know, you're going on a rant and sitting here saying all these things. That's not going to help you get your masters back. You know, I would say to sit down and try to figure out the legalities of the situation and see what is needed for you to buy your masters back. I know it seemed like it's damn near impossible for an artist to own their masters, and it's kind of confusing because I'm trying to understand like how is this even legal? Like how is it even legal in the music business for half of this stuff to be going on? Because it's literally highway robbery. But we do live in a capitalist society, and that's what most of this entire environment that we live in here in the U.S. is based upon, is basically stepping on a little guy for you to get to the top. So like, I mean, in something like the music industry, which is a big multi-billion-dollar industry, particularly especially with black entertainers, they seem to fall victim to a lot of these executives, these music record labels and stuff like that. And it really comes down to making sure that the people that is the executives or people in charge is eating over the artists. Now, I don't know exactly what can be done. I mean, it just seemed like it's a lose-lose situation. Do you guys think that there's a possibility for the music industry to be revamped. I mean, we've seen Hollywood is slowly being revamped. We're seeing diversity finally in Hollywood. We're seeing a lot of people that was doing wrongdoing to women and stuff like that being arrested and thrown in jail and all types of stuff. And they're literally been cleaning house when it comes to the acting side of Hollywood. Now, I'm trying to figure out when will it happen when the musical side of Hollywood is actually cleaned out as well. Because until everything is cleaned and rinsed and people who's running everything or the gatekeepers are exposed, this whole thing is going to continue to happen. These artists out here are going to continue to be broke. These artists out here are going to continue to be taken advantage of. But that leads to another question. What is the point of a record label? Musicians out there, I want to talk to y'all on some real stuff. Because, you know, like I said, my podcast, of course I'm talking about gossip, but I want to try to make some sense of it and really just try to pick brains with people that's out there that's watching that might be part of the music industry or want to be a part of the music industry. Why do you need a record label? Because somebody tell me, why do you need a record label in this day and age? Because, you know, back in the day, the record label would market you. You know, you had to go to like boot camps and stuff like that, where you had to train your abilities and all this other stuff. But I can't think of the name of it right now. But you know what I'm saying? They had artist development. They used to do artist development. You know, before an artist's freshman album came out, they did artist development. First you audition, they do artist development. They did so many different things to help the artists reach their next level of professionalism before they're presented to the world. And now it's like, these days you don't even have to have any type of real talent. It comes down to your YouTube numbers. It comes down to your streaming numbers. It comes down to what you already have built, and then you bring it to the record label. And back then, the record label would actually make you famous. Like, the record label would literally run the entire show and make you famous, and then they will rob you. Now, think of it like this. If they were literally funding everything that you're doing, right? And they're paying your managers, they're paying your entourage, your background singers, dancers, they're paying for your hotel stays, they're paying for the concert hall that you're going to be performing in, they're paying for basically everything you're living off of, right, back in the day. And they used to use that budget, and then on top of that, the record industry, their labels and stuff like that, the executives have to pay themselves. You know, it would look as if the artist would be broke, because if you're not writing your music, which most of these artists they have not written their own music, they're not even getting royalties at that point in their life, they're going to come out broke. Now, what was the benefit of them being on a record label back then? Like I said, all the stuff that I listed, they were benefiting because the record label was making sure that they were being developed. The record label was handling the ins and outs of their business when it comes to like hotel accommodations, you know, where people would buy their records at, where the records were being distributed, because they actually sold records, hard copies of records back then. The record label was in charge of pretty much everything. Of course, songwriting credits, paychecks being distributed, all that other stuff. And then the record label would own the masters. To own the masters of the music, because the record label needs to eat. That means that they have to own all your music. So when the record is sold, they get first dibs on that money to keep everything going, and then they can bring more people in. Now, for most people, they'll probably seem like, okay, maybe that doesn't sound too scamish, because that just sounds like they're literally running a business. But these days, the same thing is going on, but the record label isn't really doing anything for anybody. Let's be real. What exactly is a record label doing for an independent artist who's already streamed 1 million records by themselves? Why would you want to sign a record deal? I'm trying to understand, because honestly, it's really just like, it's like this. Okay, I'll view it like this. It's a loan. If you go and say, I want to go buy a house, right? You usually don't actually have the actual cash to pay for it. So you go to the bank and see if you get a mortgage or a loan. Then they give it to you and they say, you own this house, but you still got to keep paying us for it. And that's pretty much what the record label does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, you are the artist and you own your name, whatever. But we're the ones that's really owning this, because we just bought you out. Why would you let yourself be bought out when all of the money could come to you if you're a free agent? Because what I'm learning and what I've seen in the music industry is that when an artist signing a contract, they literally sign their entire lives away, pretty much. Like, the record label, They pay the producers, they pay this, and then all these other people, but they're going to pay themselves first, and you're going to be last. And if you're not a songwriter, you're not going to be really getting paid that much. The only money that you're really making directly is usually tour money, and even then, that's getting split up amongst the entourage, people that's performing, and everything else, and, you know, the promoters and all that other stuff that's involved. So it's like, how can you win in the music industry as an artist? Me personally, as a DJ, from what I'm seeing, is for artists to understand the importance of having their own budget and understanding the tools of marketing. And how can you capitalize off yourself? Now, granted, I'm not telling anybody, oh, just don't sign a record deal. It might benefit you. If it makes sense to sign it, I guess so. But just remember, this ain't the 1990s or the 1980s where if you didn't sign it, you would never have the opportunity to be famous. You would never have the opportunity to eat again or even eat at all, because no one else would be able to give you the exposure like a record company. You could literally go on the web, like I'm doing, for instance, make a show and become famous by yourself without any contracts. You literally just doing it freelance. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing for musicians. You literally, these days, as an artist, you can literally make your own music, produce your own music, distribute your own music. The only thing is that what I would recommend for most artists out there, the reason why they fail is because they don't have no real solid income. Keep your day job. If you're a performer, keep your day job. Try to get your money together. Try to be an entrepreneur overall. And then incorporate your music in it so you can pay for the marketing and the promotion and stuff like that you need. Because these days it's really not about, oh, if I don't sign this record label, I can't be famous. You might already be famous. You know what I'm saying? You gotta weigh the pros and cons. Is it really worth you signing off your masters and everything that you own that could benefit you and your family for the next centuries to come, over signing a deal with somebody who literally will take everything that you have and no one else will be able to benefit after you die, and there'll be a bunch of people and leeches living off of your brand for the next some odd decades, and your family is not going to be fed? Like, you just got to think about it, like figure out what works best for business with you. And for me, what Kanye is doing right now, trying to expose Jay-Z and stuff like that, it's just like, I feel like he wasn't a smart businessman. You can't be mad at other people for basically taking advantage of you when you wasn't being a smart businessman. I don't think it's Jay-Z's fault at the end of the day. I feel like he should have been paying attention to his contracts before he signed it, because Kanye was already a good, well-known producer before he became an actual artist. So there's no reason why he didn't understand what was going on with his career. Moral of the story is basically, ladies and gentlemen, is to read your paperwork, understand what you're signing, so in the long run, you don't have to run around and claim to be the victim. Because really, at the end of the day, fame costs. And you either gonna pay on the front end or the back end. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Kanye was on the heels of the rest of like the last people that's like big names that was kind of like signed before that digital age wave hit. So, I mean, he signed a contract thinking it was going to benefit him, but in the long run right now, he's regretting it, because he's not able to financially benefit or do the things that he wanted to do with his own music that he produced and created. And most people don't understand that even if you get the songwriting credits and stuff like that to make money off it, you actually don't own your music. So really, I feel like instead of Kanye West wimping and crying all over the web about him losing all of his masters, even though he's a so-called quote-unquote billionaire, he needs to try to help other people instead of like being selfishly just being about himself. Maybe with all the ranting that he's doing, maybe you should make a music industry enrollment class to teach people and musicians how to survive without these music executives being up their butt, stealing their money and everything else. I think that if Kanye really wants to be heard, I feel like he should do more effort into it, making it about everybody in the music industry that's been screwed over besides himself. Because honestly, it's just coming off as just a self-loathing opportunity, a self-loathing situation where he just wants attention. And then sometimes even when he does it so much that sometimes even when he makes sense, like I feel like he makes sense right now, like trying to speak on the injustice when it comes to music industry stuff, it just doesn't settle well with everybody listening to him. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is like, what the hell is he talking about now? So it doesn't go over well. So Kanye, really, my advice to you is, if you really want to discuss the inequality in the music industry, how artists are getting screwed over, this and this, do something about it, and make sure that it's not just you that's going to benefit from the situation. You know what I'm saying? Try to help others. And he actually went on Twitter. He's basically putting together like this 7-step proposal about how he think contracts should be and this, and this. Maybe that could be the first step. I personally don't think that the music industry is going to change anytime soon until the artists stop being scared and really stop selling their entire soul and integrity just for a check. Because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of them, they want to stand up for what's right, but then they see the dollar sign, especially in these times now, but even long before this. They say, you know what, never mind, I'm just gonna shut up because I want to feed my family. And that's the problem. That's like the biggest problem of why a lot of artists are financially, you know, ruined by the end of their careers, or even in the beginning of their careers when it comes to being a part of the music industry, is because they're so afraid of failing and not being able to provide for their family that they're just willing to sign anything. So really, my advice to any artist that's out there that relatively has, at least I would say, I don't know, 100,000 followers that's not bought, like real followers and stuff, like people that actually watch their videos and download their stuff, is to stick being independent. You know what I mean? Unless it's an opportunity for you to be like a partner with the label, and the label's going to partner with you and say, okay, well, how about this? We can help with the distribution and you take 60% and we take 40 or something like that. And it's like a partnership. I would say to most artists that's already established down there, don't sign the contract. There's no point. Like literally, there's people that have literally become millionaires by themselves without a record company. And it's because they know how to market themselves well. They understand the benefits of having endorsement deals. They understand, you know, how streams work and how you can make money just doing the work independently. Like most artists, they're very lazy. You know, they're talented, but they're not smart. And that's the thing that is the reason why so many people are able to take advantage of these artists, because they're not the smartest in the room. All they know is they know how to sing and they want to be a pop star, and they just live in their own little fantasy world. And that's the reason why so many people could take advantage of them, because they're not thinking as businessmen and businesswomen. And when it comes to Kanye West's artistry, yes, he's an excellent businessman now, because listen, he done made himself $1 billion for the work he's doing, but he's not a better businessman than Jay-Z, period. And I feel like that's the reason why Kanye West is where he is right now, is because he did not come in the industry as a very you know, smart businessman. And now he's starting to realize that he's like in his early 40s and stuff. He's starting to realize, oh man, all the mistakes I made in the business. But it's too late. You can't sit here and whine about it. All you can do is try to get up and, you know, try again. I heard that you can get your masters back by re-recording. In a way, you know, it seemed like Kanye got a lot of time on his hands to sit here and tweet and have rants. He should be re-recording all his material so he can actually own his masters and do whatever he needs to do so. And I mean, I know this is like a 20-minute rant about Kanye, but I just wanted to talk about it and just really incorporate the music industry in general, because I know like a lot of times, you know, I have listeners out there and you know, I deal with independent artists all the time who want advice on how they can be successful and stuff like that. And it really comes to is just like working very hard, understanding and knowing that this music industry ain't for free, which means you're going to have a budget and pay people to promote yourself. Try to network yourself as far as possible. And then if you get to the point where you feel like you want a label backing, make sure that you're not in a desperate situation. Make sure that you have a solid amount of fans and you show the label like, look, actually, you signing me is actually a benefit for you. It's not really a benefit for me. And then that's when you'll probably get the best deal that you can out of working or doing business with a record label. Okay? Now, with that, let's move over to the next subject and the next topic. So, Cardi B is finally filing for a divorce from Offset. And I'm saying finally. I'm not saying it in a celebratory way. I don't want to celebrate anybody that's marriage and family is being ripped apart. However, I am saying finally because it's always been on the web everywhere about Offset allegedly sleeping around and cheating on Cardi B all the time. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys check out, if you watch YouTube and you love Cardi B or you're a Cardi B hater, you know who Tasha K is, the blogger, and she does her own YouTube channel called Unwind with Tasha K. And she basically been like exposing Offset for years and years about him sleeping on and cheating on Cardi B and all the women that they was dealing with. And Tasha K actually lives in the state of Georgia, and that's where Cardi B filed for divorce. So I assume that's where Cardi B and Offset is actually settled and live at for the most part. So the blogger Tasha K knew a lot of stuff, and she would just constantly put up videos about Cardi B. Like, it seemed like she's like obsessed with Cardi B. It's kind of weird. Like, it's like a weird obsession. Like, But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, yeah, she seemed like she had a weird obsession with Cardi B, and she like always puts up videos and stuff like that about Offset cheating on her. And then of course, it's other blogs and stuff like that came out and made allegations that Offset was cheating and all this sort of stuff. And of course, Cardi got that infamous case going on with the pair of strippers that she was fighting over Offset, that Offset was allegedly sleeping with, and one of them happens to be like the girlfriend of Tekashi 6ix9ine or whatever. So it's just been like a big circle of nonsense and effery going on in the entire relationship, and not even just saying marriage, because they got married secretly, and like I think like it was like what, I don't know. They got married secretly, and then we found out like a long time later or whatever. But the entire time they've been in relations with each other, I mean, it's been pretty clear, crystal clear that Offset has basically been cheating the entire time, allegedly. And at this point, Cardi B decided, okay, she's going to file for divorce. Now, there is a video, a voice video. It's a live that she actually did that's making rounds. I actually have a copy of it. I'm going to play it for you guys to check it out, but I'm not going to play it on this because this is a podcast or whatever, but I'm going to put another YouTube video up playing that video, and you guys can listen to it. But generally, just paraphrasing, what she was basically trying to say is that she was divorcing Offset because her and Offset just don't get along, and she's tired of arguing with him all the time. And she also was basically talking about some, basically that no one is ever satisfied. Like, what did they want her to do? Wait until this dude has a baby on her and have her looking even more stupid? Like, and I agree with Cardi B when she says that, because it just seems like, we just live in a generation of people with a ton of opinions, and opinions are like assholes. You guys sit here and say that Cardi is stupid for staying with her husband, even though he's continuously cheating on her, and allegedly. And, the disrespect, the women on the web, all these allegations and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. The side chicks coming out doing interviews, trying to promote their career. Y'all sit here and say that Cardi is stupid for still sticking by Offset. Everybody is, demonizing Offset, saying Offset's not a good guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Then she leaves Offset because he, like a couple of years ago, was that 2018? He, embarrassed her because somebody came out and basically said they were sleeping around with him. He admits to cheating on her on a public platform and says, he's sorry and this, like that. And then while Cardi B is performing at some festival, he walks in and puts on a big show and basically try to force Cardi B to get back with him. And it was kind of, for me, I just feel like it was just so, really just egotistical for him to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's because he embarrassed her in public. He felt like he needed to apologize in public. But I was just wondering, was it really necessary to do this while this girl's trying to perform and work and everything else? It just seemed like a big old mess. And then after that, and it's crazy because the craziest thing is the public was sitting there telling Cardi she needs to break up with Offset, right? Everybody's saying Cardi, listen, Cardi. Offset the dog. You sleep with everybody. You need to break it off with him. You're too good for him. Blah, 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 blah. This is everything Barty Gang was saying, okay? And I'm talking about her fans, because I think a lot of times people try to make it seem like, oh, it's just random people that's not fans of Cardi B that don't want her and Offset together. It's literally Barty Gang that don't want Offset and Cardi B together. Majority of the people that I see on her posts and stuff like that are fans of hers that say that Offset's not good enough. He's always cheating on her. Blah, 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 blah. So then she finally decides to break up with the man, and she gets a huge amount of pressure, not only from Offset, of course, coming back to get his woman, but all of the so-called Barty Gang members who said that they wasn't for her and Offset to be together is now sitting there saying, Cardi, take him back, take him back, take him back, and stuff like that. And you gotta realize this, Cardi B is in her mid-20s and stuff like that, and she was younger back then, even more. It's of course she's gonna end up taking him back. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how so many women out here got opinions on who should stay with who, when it's okay, Cardi just got back with this dude and he's a multi-millionaire, he's a rapper, and everyone's oh, you're so stupid, this and this, but you chicks stick with the same bummy, dusty, dust bunny ass dude that you've been dating for 20 years who literally brings nothing to the table, but I can't say it on YouTube, but you know what he brings to the table. That's all he brings to the table. That's literally all he brings to the table is that. And you guys get back with him every day. Y'all sleeping together, this, and this. And then y'all had the nerve to have something to say about Cardi B and her relationship. But I digress, okay? So, back to what I was saying. I'm getting lost here. Cardi B gets back with him. Now she's stupid again. Y'all literally told her to take him back. Y'all told her that he was cheating. Y'all tell her to break up with him. She breaks up with him. Then y'all say, oh, take him back. Because he came on stage with like flowers in a show. And then she take him back. Y'all still calling her stupid. And now she files for divorce. And y'all still calling her stupid. Like, it's like, okay, really? Like, when is she, like, give Cardi B a break? My God. Like, and if she decides she wants to divorce this man, y'all need to get off the web and stop pulling at this girl's mind and heartstrings. Because she seems like a person who's like, you know, she pays attention to social media. She seems very sensitive. She seems like she cares about what everybody thinks of her. And I feel like if they really do follow through the divorce, it's going to be because Cardi B is able to, like, literally separate from this social media currency, like, and making it just so she doesn't see people pressuring her and stuff like that. Like, she just had to stay strong, you know what I mean? And if she knows that this situation is toxic for herself and she feel like the best benefit is just co-parenting, Cardi B, you should just do it for yourself. Like, literally, forget about what everybody has to say. If you want to be with your husband, be with your husband. If you don't want to be with your husband, then don't be with your husband. But don't, you know, literally live your life for other people. Make sure you're living it for yourself, you know. And, you know, the video that she put up, basically Cardi was explaining why she broke up with him, and it made perfectly good sense. Like, why would she keep dealing with somebody? First of all, she's always arguing with him. Secondly, he's allegedly a cheater, a consistent cheater, a serial cheater, and, you know, she's constantly being disrespected. You know, and they have a child together, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't want her daughter to grow up thinking that it's okay for a man to disrespect her the way that her father is disrespecting her mother right now. So maybe that could have been the reason as well. But she basically was generally saying that the reason why she's doing a divorce is because they were constantly arguing. Me personally, I don't think arguments, I don't know, would be reasonable enough for a divorce unless it's really bad where someone's being hurt. But I've never been married before, so hey. It is what it is. I just thought that she probably would have divorced him when he had like a ton of different girls that he was sleeping with allegedly, and, you know, had Cardi done caught a case because of him and all the other stuff, bar fights and everything else. I thought that she would have filed by now, but now it just seemed like everything seems so calm and everything, and now she want to file. But maybe it's also because they actually getting to know each other during quarantine, and she's starting to realize that she's not really actually compatible with him. Because I'm realizing that the divorce rate is really on the rise, or breakups are really on the rise and stuff since people have been stuck in quarantine, because they realize they're sleeping with literally a stranger in their house. They don't know who they sleeping with. They don't know who they was really dealing with. All they seen was a good looking person. And this is a time where people lay back and they realize, damn, I was in lust. I've been in lust this entire time. Like, I literally been in lust this entire time. We have nothing in common. You know, you have nothing that you bring to the table besides sex, basically. And this goes down the line. It doesn't matter if it's men and women, women and women, men and men, just in general. People that's in relationships in general, romantically, you know what I'm saying, with each other, it's starting to realize that maybe the person that they're married to are not, is like literally not, they're not compatible with. And it's because you're actually spending time with these people now. Because before then, the quarantine, people had time to run off, which means they had time to work, find friends to just hang out with, to basically push all of their issues to the side. But this quarantine literally forced couples to stay in a house together and face their issues. And unfortunately, it just shows that there's like zero strength in the new family that we have out here, or if you want to call it, these new marriages and stuff like that. And most people are literally together with another person for the looks, for the most part, the benefits, for the most part. It's not because they're in love. You know, it might be because of the sex for the most part, but it's not because they're in love. And it's really like, when you can't sit and you genuinely enjoy someone, you genuinely like each other, you're generally laughing, you know what I mean? What is the point of continuing a relationship when you're not actually really compatible or happy? And I feel like maybe that was the situation with Cardi B and Offset, is that, you know, we see Cardi B always bragging about Offset's sexual abilities, the size of his stuff, you know, all these other things that she always, but that is all outside. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that maybe Cardi didn't really sit and really get to know him, because both of them got together at the height of their careers, which means they were always working. So they only seen each other for a certain amount of time. So they never seen all of the good, bad, and ugly characteristics that seek within inside of the person that they're dating. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that not only Cardi B's and Offset situation, you know, it's not shocking, but it's something that happened to everybody, whether they're rich, poor, regular folks. If you've been in quarantine with your spouse by yourselves, it's been a lot of people that have broken up because they realize, yo, I'm not even compatible with this person. I'm not even compatible with this person. Like, what else did they do for me? This person is very bad. This is a bad person. Or they'll realize they got in a relationship with a terrible, awful person. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like we should judge Cardi. You know what I mean? I feel like, Cardi is making the best decisions that she can. She's young and she's trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of times, if most people really sat and tried to get to know their spouse, if they actually was friends with their spouse and stuff like that they've been with, they will realize that maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe this doesn't work because it's not healthy. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you also have people that's breaking up because even though they thought it was a perfect relationship, or they felt like their relationship was on and off, they're finding out that they've been being cheated on the entire time. And they're being busted for it. And that's leading to more divorces. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people's dishonesty and deceit and stuff like that, secrets are being unveiled due to the fact that they have to be stuck under their spouse all day, every day. And with that, things are going to spill out. Things are going to happen. You happen to fall asleep. You leave your phone open and then your side chick just texts you. And now you're busted. Now you're getting divorced because your side chick done caught you. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot that just been going on in general. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about Offset and Cardi B's divorce. I mean, I can't say I'm shocked. I don't feel like they were in love in the first place. I feel like there was a lusty situation. They had fun. They were cute together. They had good sex, and now it's like whatever. But hey, maybe they really love each other. I don't know, but I'm not going to judge on it because they might get back together tomorrow. They did it before. Let's just see what happens, shall we? And with that being said, let's move over to another subject. And this is more serious, man, because I just feel like 2020 is unveiling us. A lot of things shifting. There's so much stuff going on. And we're just talking about the atmosphere. I just feel like the world right now is on like a spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? We have forest fires and stuff happening in California. They just had an earthquake. We got a pandemic hitting us still hard. This shit is still hitting us. We done lost almost 500,000 people because of this pandemic of coronavirus and COVID and stuff like that. It's just so many people taking L's. Every time I go on my timeline, damn it. I'm seeing rest in peace this person, rest in peace that person. And I don't know if it's from the disease or not, but it really just seemed like it's a spiritual warfare going on. And God is taking a lot of people out, man. And every day that I wake up, I say, thank God. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys are listening right now. You guys are saying thank God that you're actually alive to even hear this podcast right now. Because honestly, shit has just been getting, it's been crazy. Like, I'm just waiting for the aliens to show up. This year has been it's been a really fast, slow year. Like, it's like I said, when September 1st hit, I still thought we were in August. You understand me? Like, I don't even know what day it is. Like, I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, God damn, today I'm recording this on the 21st of September. Do you remember the 21st day of September? Okay, all right, I'm done. Okay, but anyway, but yeah, on the more serious notes, I'm like, just thinking like, whoo, we got 3 more months left of this year, and it's been such a drag, and a lot of people think because we're going into 2021 that it's going to be fine, and all of a sudden we're going to be back into utopia, which is not true. It's not going to be a utopia, man. Like, for real. Like, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and they're saying that the second wave is on its way. Now, I don't know who told everybody that by the end of this year, all of a sudden, once the ball drops, 2021, everybody's going to all of a sudden just turn up and be rich, and the economy's going to be back to normal, and shit is just going to be amazing. But I personally don't think that's going to be the case, y'all. We have a lot of stuff that we still have to go through. And unfortunately, the only thing that we can do is try to hold on, stay prayed up, and try to put our best foot forward to the next few days and be thankful that we made it through the next few days. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, let's talk about the death of Ruth Ginsburg. Yeah, so let's talk about Ruth Ginsburg. for most of you guys know who she is. If you don't know, she was the Supreme Court Justice for the United States. She was assigned by Bill Clinton, I believe, in 1993. They said she's been there for almost 28 years. That's almost 30 years that she's been in office helping to fight for women's rights. She was previously denied when she tried to run for office back in the 1960s, and that made her decide to, you know what, let's get some laws changed. And she was a woman who helped to get women's rights in order. You know, if you are a working woman, it's because of her. You know, if you're a woman that's doing anything other than cooking and cleaning and having babies, it's because she helped to get those laws passed and make it possible for women. And women of all diversities, not just for white women, but for black women, and all types of equality this woman has passed. You know, she did, just equality, civil rights equality, just, LGBT equality, black people equality, everybody. She just fought for equality for everybody. She just lived by the live and let live mentality, and she did that for almost 28 years, and she made it so we in American, as women, we didn't have to deal with a lot of stuff the people in other continents and different countries still have to deal with, where you have limited rights and stuff like that, where you can't do certain things because you're a female. This lady made things happen. This lady just died. Okay? And with that being said, this is really a bad situation because we are on the bridge of another election, of electing another president. And the president that is elected is going to be in charge of choosing the next Court of Justice judge. So, Supreme Court Justice judge. And if we happen to have a mishap and get Trump back into office, we might literally be like, things might get reversed. And I'm talking about laws for women, freedom, liberty for everybody. You understand me? Like, this is a serious election, and it just got real fast. Now, granted, I've never been a person who sat here and talked about politics all day long and this and this. But, I gotta keep it real with y'all with this platform is when I know that something's going down and I feel like my people might be ignorant to it, I gotta say something. Because, listen, this lady done died, y'all. This lady is gone. And if they put the wrong person in office who happens to be a bigot, happens to be a racist, happens to be a sexist, happens to be somebody who doesn't believe in freedom and equality for all, we are in some deep ish. Okay? I really encourage everybody that's out there right now, y'all need to vote. Like, literally vote. And I know it's people out there that's like, I get tired of it. Okay? People like, well, black people, you guys only vote because you're afraid and y'all just voting out of fear. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that if she hadn't died, maybe it might have been okay to lackadaisically not vote. But this lady literally just died, and she's like literally was in charge of the entire free world and what laws was passed and what you could be locked up for and stuff like that, and freedom and equality. So if we put the wrong person in office, we are looking at black people, we are in trouble. Okay? Women of all races, black, white, and indifferent, we're in trouble. Because it's going to be a lot of people probably going to jail for stuff, just random stuff. It's going to be a lot of more corruption going on within the judicial system. It's going to be a lot more things going on. And the person who's in charge of putting this person in office, the person that's in charge of putting this person in office is the upcoming president of the United States. You understand me? So if you guys go ahead and not vote, the possibilities is that Donald Trump is going to pick the next judge, and you guys, we're going to be all effed. All that Black Lives Matter protesting is really going to be just that, a protest that actually leads to absolutely nothing. If you guys do not come out in the droids to vote, the same way you guys came out in the droids to protest this entire summer, we are screwed, okay? And I don't know what to expect this coming November. I hope y'all get up and go vote. Get out of your, get your heads out your butts. And please go vote, because it just got real fast. This year has been long, and that's the thing is people understand is that a lot of the people that's running the country that made a lot of laws passed, they're getting old. Miss Ginsburg, Judge Ginsburg, she was 87. She was an old woman. She lived a long life, and we need to start getting a new wave of younger, mature, younger people into office. That's not gonna just die out of nowhere, because really we are in a real state of an emergency, and the people that we vote in, we need to make sure that they're going to actually be here for the next coming generations, because if not, this economy, everything is just, all of this is just going to continue to be a damn mess. Now, me personally, I am going to vote now. At first I was like, yeah, I'm going to vote, but now I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to vote, because this person is in charge of picking the person who literally can lock the entire world up in the United States. Like, literally, okay? They can take away rights, you know? Various different rights for women. Women's suffrage rights, all types of stuff. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to go out without a fight. But, y'all, it just got real. So, we need to really just unite as Americans, just as people, you know? And if you're a woman and you have prejudiced looks or whatever, you don't like somebody because their skin, race, this and this, really think about it like this. If you happen to allow your prejudice for another person because their skin color, their culture, or whatever, sway your vote, you're really screwing yourself over. Because what you don't want to become is a slave in your own country, man. Like, seriously. And that's what is at risk. Your freedom is literally at risk. Your freedom inequality is literally at risk. And we already seen a couple of states where women's rights have been overturned and stuff like that. So whoever gets this can literally overturn a lot of rules and laws that was recently passed for the betterment of society for women and everybody. So just vote. Freaking vote. I don't know, y'all, man. This year's just freaking been long. Like, oh, man. I don't know. I just don't want to wake up to another nightmare. You get what I'm saying? I feel like every day, like, I don't know. I've just been waking up to this, like, more bullshit. Like, every month, it's, like, some new stuff that just happens. And it's, like, when, like, make it stop. Make it stop. Like, when is it going to stop? It's just been too much going on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I hope that we get Donald Trump out of office. I hope that, you know, America and the United States isn't as ignorant, you know, as the mistake that we made by putting this dude in office. I hope that this is a lesson for a lot of people, especially in this pandemic of not being able to survive right now, that we need to really, you know, vote in the right direction, because women, your right and freedom are at risk. Black people, Hispanics, everybody, your rights are at risk if you do not vote. And if you don't vote, they're going to put a judge in office that you're not going to like. And things are going to change really fast. And a lot of things that's in law right now will be outlawed. And we are going to be going from just the United States, where they view us as like the greatest nation, to literally probably a third world country overnight. Because we are going to be in some serious social unrest. I just feel like a lot of riots is going to take place. I feel like a lot of bad things are about to happen, y'all. And I'm just hoping that people, because we're literally in spiritual warfare. Like, it's literally as much or more bad people than there is good people at this point in the world. I'm so convinced that it is. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, it just seemed like the world has gone to complete crap. Like, y'all, this podcast ain't even music based like that. Because you know what? Man, I'm trying to pump out more videos for y'all, like I said before, but I'm just thinking about a lot of stuff and like where the state of the world is right now, and it's scary. It's a scary world, man, that we living in. Like, we need really some unity. We need people to stop being ignorant. We need people to start educating their kids. Like, true stuff, man. Like, we need something, y'all. I don't know. When people like, we need to pray. We need to work. We need to work on getting our asses out and voting. And if people are saying black people are voting because we're afraid of something, that's not it. We just don't want to go back to where we was, which was slaves, dude. Like, literally, because how effed up this country is, I don't know what the hell can happen. Believe me, but believe this, I ain't going out without no fight, though, for sure. Y'all ain't about to just take me back now. Believe that. No. Man. Anyway, let's talk about the Emmys. So Zendaya, she was like the first woman to win Outstanding Actress award on hit series. And she was the youngest actress, actually, not first woman, but the youngest actress to win. And very happy for her. Regina King won an Emmy as well for Best Supporting Actress on the show as well. Tyler Perry got an honorary mention award from the Emmys as well, and he did an amazing speech. You know, and they had to do a virtual Emmys because, of course, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, so people can't come together like they want to. But it was really cool to see those winners and stuff like that. I think Zendaya really deserved that award. She works very hard, and, you know, I remember her when she started out. I believe she started on, like, the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. I remember when she was a new talent, and now to see her at, like, 80 million followers on Instagram and, you know, having a hit show and, you know, winning awards and everything else. It's just like, it's really amazing. You know, it shows you like what could be possible if you work hard enough. And, you know, she deserves everything. What is that bell? I don't know. I thought I heard a noise, you guys. No. Okay. But yeah, she deserves all of that, you know, and, you know, I'm very happy for her. You know what I mean? That's some good news in the middle of the pandemic. Outside of that, y'all, oh yeah, did you guys see the Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight's like versus? That was really good last week. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it was something that the younger cultures needed to see, like, because I just feel like a lot of them just forget exactly who the people who paved the way. And, you know, it was nice because they also surprised us with a performance by Dionne Warwick. And all three of these ladies are pushing 80 years old. They, you know, I think Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, was one is 77, the other one's 76, and Dionne Warwick said that she's 79, and God willing, she'll be 80 by the end of this year. So it was just very nice to see the ladies perform. You know, everybody called them auntie and stuff like that. It was just so great to just sit there and watch the older people, you know, the classic, the classic performers really put out records that we all love as a generation, you know what I mean? And I feel like Verzuz is doing a very good job of having diversity on there. You know, last week, the previous week, they had Brandy and Monica, and then, you know, now they're skipping over to another generation, which is Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. And I think it was just such a great show. It was fun. I enjoy hearing them tell their stories from like the past 60 years of their careers. You know, can you imagine that? Like, listen, it's people who haven't even been alive for 60 years, right? A ton of people, like generations and generations of people haven't been alive for 60 years. Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle careers span 60 freaking years. Like, most of our favorite performers don't even have half of that amount of time in the music industry. Like, there's people that have like 20 years worth of careers, like a Beyonce or whatever, and they still have 40 years to top the amount of time that Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle has been performing and doing work in the music industry. And I just think it's fantastic and amazing that these ladies have, you know, kept their voices. Their voices sound so good. Still sounds so good, so high quality, you know. And it was funny because Gladys Knight, she would get up and start singing, stand up and sing. Like, she was legit singing, and I was getting my life. It was such a great show. But the funny thing is that the funny thing is that she kept saying that, oh, you know, your voice get lower, this, and this. I'm like, wow. Even at 76, 77 years old, she sounds better than a lot of these girls that's performing right now. That's only been performing for like a decade. She's been performing for 60 years, and she still has a solid voice, singing voice live, and it sounded like the recording. You can't even tell the difference between the recording and her voice when we were sitting there listening to the DJ play it. What I can say is y'all gotta also get Patti LaBelle her credit as well in how fantastic her voice sounds. How, you know, and of course she had a whole shoe collection. I was like, did she just change shoes? She kicked some shoes off. She was out here flying. She taught us how to fly, okay? It was just such a good show. It was a funny show, you know. It was very entertaining, you know. Literally like watching your aunties perform, man. It was just a good ass show. But besides that, y'all tell me what y'all think about that review right there. And then I'm going to talk about shows to watch. I got to see the next 2 episodes of Power, Book 2. I've been watching it. I seen the last episode, the first one, but I got to catch one of the next 2 episodes. You guys tell me what you guys think about that series so far. I actually like episode 1. It was pretty good. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of drama's about to happen, man. It's on Stars, so maybe I should start doing reviews on that. Do you guys want me to do reviews on Power? Tell me if you guys want me to do reviews on Power, the newest series, and maybe I can come on here and talk about that. But outside of that, ladies and germs, I think I am gonna wrap up today's show. Yeah, man, it's not that many solid hot topics. I might take a couple of weeks to try to get some more topics to talk about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that I've seen, it was like a repetitive of what I talked about already last week, and I really don't want to keep talking about the same subject over and 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 over. I've been wanting to have like a lot of different topics every show to talk about, but I pretty much just talk about the highlights, you know, the top topics and stuff that was going on over the past few days. You know, it's kind of been a slow news week, you know, besides Cardi B, then the death of the judge and all the other stuff I spoke about. I think I already spoke heavily about Dr. Dre's divorce, and of course his wife wanting money and stuff. So it's just like, you know, hey, you know, sometimes you just run out of topics to discuss. You know, I wanted to make sure that I put out some more content for you guys, though, and stay persistent with the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I got a lot of listeners, a lot of loyal supporters. But towards the end of the show, I want you guys to understand that, you know, I put a lot of time and effort into this podcast, so I really hope that you guys actually do share the video. Check out my previous videos that I put out as well. And I'm hoping I should be able to get some celebrity interviews or some regular interviews with some new talent coming soon. I got some musicians coming on next month. I got a heavy schedule, a lot of stuff going on. So the podcast is going to continue to develop, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little weary. I've been going through a lot lately just as a person. You know, I don't talk about my personal life, but you know, things have been rough. Okay? Jasmine's been going through it, and I'm using my real name today. And I'm just trying to use this mic as a therapy, you know, and I hope that you listen to me as therapy as well. Because things have been a bit shaky, you know what I'm saying? Like, whew, shaky. But I'm getting it together, working on it, trying to do better in life, trying to be focused, trying to reach my next goals in life. You know what I'm saying? And for everybody that's out there that's going through it, just try to stay positive. If you woke up today, you're alive, thank God. Try to put your best foot forward. There's a reason why you're here. There's a purpose why you're here. Every day is an opportunity to make up what you're lacking from the day before. You know, that's what I'm personally learning, man, because it's just like there's days sometimes where you just get tired, man. You know, you get tired of it, of a lot of things that be going on, and you just got to try to hold on and do something that you love. And I happen to love to talk on this microphone every week, and this is my therapy. Talking on a microphone and speaking and podcasting is my therapy. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel better, you know, being able to just sit here and talk to myself. And it's funny because, like, I had seen this one blogger, Travis Lovely T. She said she don't know how she can sit here and talk to herself for 30 minutes, you know, doing a podcast. But damn it, I know how I can, okay? Because it's therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here talking to myself. I'm kind of talking to y'all. Y'all gonna get to tape later, but I mean, I could do this all day. Really, I could. It's therapeutic. Podcasting is therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of time, of course, marketing it and trying to get it out to people, but really, I've been doing this for like a year now. And it's been great. It's been great. I'm going to be working on some more content soon. Hopefully I don't know what else probably pop off, man. Shit, man. It's always some new stuff going on, man. But yeah, I just want to make sure that when I come up here, I have some type of substance and discussion about the topics that's going on and stuff like that. I don't want to just be like, you know, coming up here with no topics or nothing. But literally, it's been a dry week. It's Monday. It's only Monday. So maybe I'll hit y'all hard with two podcasts in a week or something like that, because your girl, shit, I'm just chilling anyway, man. I ain't got nothing else to do. I might as well. But outside of that, make sure you guys look out for more videos in between. I put up IG live videos of celebrities, and I talk about what we're watching and like what they talking about and stuff like that. So I'll be putting up more commentary on YouTube. For everybody that just want to support me in general and follow the stuff that I'm doing outside of my podcast, you guys can find me on Instagram at iamdjjayerica or at the DJ Jayerica Podcast. Everybody that's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, everywhere else is listening. I appreciate you guys for listening to audio. If you guys made it all the way to the end, I mean that you like your girl's voice, and I hope y'all feel good right now, and I hope y'all feeling better. I hope this podcast is therapeutic to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's therapy to me to be able to sit here and talk about stuff. Outside of that, man, you know what? one more thing I want to talk about is Joe Budden and Charlamagne the God and all these numbers and all these podcasts. And I just want to talk about something about this podcasting situation that's going on, because it looked like Charlamagne just made a big deal with iHeart. He's basically supposed to be helping a ton of like black entertainers like do podcasts and stuff like that under one umbrella, with him being like the ringleader. And I think it's so cool and interesting. But at the same time, I just be wondering, like, you know, how is podcasting going to change once it starts to become like the music industry? Is it going to be people like trying to rob folks for their podcasts and their views and selling their podcasts off to advertisers without their permission and this and this? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Joe Budden kind of like paved the way, and it's very popular now, and I feel like everybody's got a podcast. But I want to know how many people are going to actually survive through the wave of this new popular thing. Because before this became popular, I was already talking on a microphone. I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this radio stuff since college, and it's been a solid, how old am I, 29 now? So it's been almost 10 years that I've been doing radio broadcasting and work like that, independent. But I just be thinking about the development, like how is podcasting going to change? Because it seems like a lot of people in the music industry turned this into like a corporate business. I wonder if it's going to take the fun out of it. But what I will say is that I plan on staying independent, because I really want to be able to just do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't want to be on no contract. I hate pressure. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there thinking, like, this is one of the reasons why I decided to do podcasting and just do the stuff by myself and distribute it myself, because I don't like being pressured by other people, and I don't like people telling me what to do. I'm be real with you. I don't like nobody telling me, oh, you got to put out 3 episodes a day of this. You got to put out this. No, this is supposed to be therapeutic. And it ain't going to be therapeutic if you are literally forcing me to put out something for you. Like, no, I'm going to put out what I feel like putting out. You know what I'm saying? I want to have my freedom of doing that. And granted, Charlamagne, what he's doing right now with him getting that iHeart deal and helping the artists or people, I think it's like DC Young Fly and a whole bunch of other people gonna have their own podcast under his direction, because I know he's not the owner of it because he works for iHeart. But I think it's gonna be nice and cool and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like when it gets to the point where people always add money onto everything, where it's like, okay, now this is your job and you're employed to a podcast and you got to this and this. It just seems like it takes the fun out of everything. You know what I mean? And I get it. These people are already financially established, so they want to capitalize off of it. But I just feel like the richness of podcasting might get watered down real soon, because it just seems like everybody is just doing podcasts because it's a new hustle. And it's like, it's just like anything else. Like, everybody wants to be a rapper. Everyone was at one point an Instagram model, and now all of a sudden everybody's a damn podcaster. Now, just to be clear, I can say whatever I want to, because I actually went to school for this. I actually got a communications degree, and I actually bust my ass to get into this field and do the work that I'm doing. And I'm not sitting here trying to brag, but I'm just kind of keeping it real. And I just feel like when it comes to doing this podcasting thing, oftentimes people that's not even a part of the music industry or anything like that, they just want to do this just for a check. You know what I'm saying? They just want to do this just for a check. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's going to take the fun out of podcasting, man. Like, for real. I don't know. But I'll see what Charlamagne is really up to and what he's going to do with those artists. I hope he don't, those podcasts, I hope he don't screw them over. I hope it's not like no record label thing where, the podcaster ain't getting paid, but they making $100 million and stuff like that. Because honestly, Spotify did Joe Budden really dirty, and I'm just like, wow, like, I don't know. But y'all tell me what y'all think about everybody wanting to be a podcaster out of the sky and things of that nature. But anyways, I'm off here. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video or whatever, and I'll see y'all in the next podcast. It's good hearing from you guys, and I'll see y'all next week. Much love. And subscribe. Please subscribe on YouTube. Bye.